Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Miracle, Mimi for short. If this is the first time seeing my beautiful face, you're welcome. Well, so our next video from Thomas Sowell is: should whites apologize for slavery? Like, I think nobody should apologize because the whites themselves, it was not their fault. Like, I don't really know. I don't think. You owe nobody an apology. What's in the past is in the past. Right now, you have to move on because of every social, I don't even really know what to say. But let's check this video out first. Let's check it out.
The clerk just read for the first time ever in this body what we should have done a long time ago: an apology for slavery and the Jim Crow laws, which for a century after emancipation deprived millions of Americans their basic human rights, equal justice under law, and equal opportunities. Today, the Senate will unanimously make that apology.
Great injustice was woven into the fabric of our nation. Slavery, and the racial segregation that followed have left a tragic legacy that divided this country in the bloodiest war we have yet known. It is a legacy that still affects each and every one of us this day.
What we're saying here in the United States Senate today is that a wrong was done. A wrong of slavery was done by the federal government of the United States of America. The wrong of segregation was done by the federal government of the United States of America. And we acknowledge that, we say it was wrong, and we ask for forgiveness for that.
God, we're just humbling ourselves before you. Yes, Lord. You brought the thunder and rain today, God, because Satan takes the L today. Father, in Jesus' name, you get the victory. Father, we ask for forgiveness from our black brothers and sisters for years and years of racism, of systematic racism.
Public apologies to people who are not owed any apology have become one of the many signs of the mushy thinking of our times. So are apologies for things that somebody else did. Among the most absurd apologies have been apologies for slavery by politicians. For one thing, slavery is not something you can apologize for, any more than you can apologize for murder. If someone says to you that he murdered someone near and dear to you, what are you supposed to say? No problem, we all make mistakes? Not bloody likely. Slavery is too serious for an apology, and somebody else being a slave owner is not something for you to apologize for. When somebody who has never owned a slave apologizes for slavery to somebody who has never been a slave, then what began as mushy thinking has degenerated into theatrical absurdity, or, worse yet, politics. Slavery has existed all over the planet for thousands of years, with black, white, yellow, and other races being both slaves and enslavers. Does that mean that everybody ought to apologize to everybody else for what their ancestors did? Or are the only people who are supposed to feel guilty the ones who have money that others want to talk them out of? This craze for aimless apologies is part of a general loss of a sense of personal responsibility in our time. We are supposed to feel guilty for what other people did, but there are 1,000 cop-outs for what we ourselves did to those we did it to. Back in the 1960s, when so many foolish ideas flourished simply because they were new, a New York Times columnist tried to make the case that we were all somehow responsible for the assassination of President Kennedy. That was considered to be deep stuff. It made you one of the special folks when you believed that, instead of one of the rest of us poor dumb slobs who believed that the man who shot him was responsible. For more than a century, the intelligentsia have been trying to get us to focus on the root causes of crime, supposedly created by society, instead of locking up thieves or executing murderers. If some people don't have the money or the achievements of others, that too is society's fault, in the eyes of those for whom personal responsibility is an outmoded idea. Personal responsibility is a real problem for those who want to collectivize society and take away our power to make our own decisions, transferring that power to third parties like themselves, who imagine themselves so much wiser and nobler than the rest of us. Aimless apologies are just one of the incidental symptoms of an increasing loss of a sense of personal responsibility, without which a whole society is in jeopardy. The police cannot possibly maintain law and order by themselves. Millions of people can monitor their own behavior better than any third parties can. Cops can cope with that segment of society who have no sense of personal responsibility, but not if that segment becomes a large part of the whole population. Yet increasing numbers of educators and the intelligentsia seem to have devoted themselves to undermining or destroying a sense of personal responsibility and making society responsible instead. Aimless apologies are just one small symptom of this larger and more dangerous attitude.
Guys, like all those things I've just watched, like, did you just see what this video? Did you see this video? Like, I don't really know what to say, but what I have to say is that if we took all the bad things throughout history, throughout everything that have been happening, that means every human, whatever every human that have ever done, literally, everyone in the whole world is supposed to apologize to one another for the wrongs. Like, yeah, I think so. Everyone is supposed to apologize because it's better to remember wrongs in the past and unite as one. Things that really happen, let us unite as one and stand up for ourselves to prevent anything from happening in the future than going back to the past, something that have happened in the past, in the history. Like, I don't even really know what to say. Like, but all I want to say is that thank you, Thomas Sowell, for this. Like, this is wisdom. I'm learning a lot from him. Like, my knowledge is beginning to increase. I love what I'm saying. Yeah, I love what I'm saying. People out there, people that all these people outside country or people in abroad, you guys are really enjoying. People are asking for reparation, doing this one. Come down to Nigeria. Come down to Nigeria in particular and come and ask for reparation or come and ask for anything. Okay? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Like, watch, and subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.